Hey friends, welcome to One Little Coder. In this video, we are going to look at how to do object recognition using R, and this uses YOLO model. So YOLO is a very popular image object recognition framework, and in this video, we'll see how to use that YOLO model within R to recognize any image, the objects in the image. The first step is the package for that is actually a combination of packages. So there is a parent package that's called image. It's from BNOSAC, the organization, and they have actually done a lot of open source contribution to NLP and computer vision. So in this repository, when you go, you would actually see the list of packages that they have got. So you can see all the individual packages. So the package that we are going to use particularly in this case is image.darknet. So as it says that image classification using darknet with deep learning models, LexNet, darknet, VGG16, GoogleNet, darknet 19. So also using the YOLO detection system. So I would encourage you to have a quick look at YOLO. So the latest YOLO is a bit controversial, that a lot of people recognize that it is not the actual YOLO, because the original YOLO developer once said that he stopped developing YOLO further because of lot of data ethics issues. But leaving that aside, understanding about YOLO is good for you to get slightly more understanding about what is happening behind the scene. So leaving that aside, let's look at the applied machine learning that we are going to talk about, which is getting this into R and then using an image and then finally detecting the objects in the image. So how is the final output going to look like? So this is how the final output is going to look like. So once you provide an image, finally you would get an output that would say that what kind of image the algorithm has recognized, whether it is a car, a person, or whatever it is, and then we would create bounding boxes. So the fact is, you don't have to do anything manually. So this package is quite very nice. Also at a high level of abstraction where you don't have to do a lot of things and it itself will do things for you. The first thing is I would encourage you to create a project folder. So like this, so once you have it in a project folder, you can actually keep your input image inside that, and then the output image would get saved inside that. Otherwise it will be slightly harder for you to track the files. So either you can have a project folder or you can set working directory where you can create this project. So the first step is install the package. In this case, we are trying to install image.darknet, which is in a subdirectory in this repository. So you have to use DevTools, install GitHub, which is a function for you to install, and then you are installing from this repository. And because we want only this package, as we saw, there are a lot of packages and we want only this package, the image.darknet is the package that you need. If you want Wingnet, you can install that. So that's the first step. Once you install that, I'm not showing the installation because there is no dependency, but it actually takes quite some time. So I'm not doing anything in that. Once you do that, you can just call the library image.darknet and then you can load it. So you can see that I've just called library image.darknet. So after that is done, like I said, if you need a working directory, please set that up. Otherwise we can get into the function. The first step is we have to define the model. What is the model that we are trying to download? So we are trying to download an image.darknet model, and you can in fact look at all the functions that is available here, image.darknet, and what are all things that we can do. So if you look at the help document, you will actually see that there are things that we can do with this. For example, you can do a couple of things. One is you can do classification or image detection. So if you want to do classification, there is a separate function for that. If you want to do detection, there is a separate function for that. And what are the models that you need? So based on that, we would download the weights. So like we just saw, the current image.darknet model function supports the following models for classification. So for classification, you can do LexNet, darknet, VGG16, GoogleNet. And for detection, you can use YOLO. So we are not doing image classification here in this video. Probably that's another video. In this video, we're going to do image detection, just the detection. So the first step is we have to say, okay, I want to detect, type is equal to detect, then what are the models. So this will download the weights of the model, and then you can actually place where do you want to keep the models. After the model is downloaded, you can point the location where the model is placed, and then the labels. So once this is done, it would take some time. Let me execute it. Yeah, once this is done, the next step is immediately you have to you can see that the model object is available, the details at least. So next step is we have to define the place where the model is. So here model is defined, and then now we have to use that model that we created and then pass on to the image that we have, and then we can detect. So before you have the image, the just a pointer that if you just give the relative path of the image, you would probably get an error saying that give the full path instead of the path that is working inside the working directory. So I would encourage you to give the full path. So once you have that, you can do detection. So let's do detection. As you can see, we just ran it, and then the function for that is image darknet, and there is a threshold. I'll come to the threshold in a short while. So what happens here is once you use image darknet model, you are saving the model, defining the model, downloading weights of the model, then you are using that pre-trained model to detect without actually training or doing anything with respect to the modeling. You're going to detect on the image that you have got, and you have to pass on the object. And once you have that, let's quickly go and then see what is happening in the image. So if you see the folder, if you see this is the input image that we have given. So you can actually see the input image. Let me quickly get it. So this is the input image, and this input image has got this output image. We'll quickly see with a different image as well. So you can see that input image had got this output image. Let me just get it. Yeah, so this is what it has recognized, and this is not the only information. We would also get the informations. This is if you want to represent the image as a bounding box, but you can also see here what other information that it has detected. So if we quickly see, it is saying what is the neural network it is building. So you can see the number of layers of the coordinate that it has built. You can see the all the details that that has gone through in the neural network, and that was created to build detect this. And then you can see totally there were 845 boxes, and the bounding boxes, and out of which only 4 boxes were above threshold. So the threshold that we have given is what is determining the actual output image. So the 4% is the 4 value is 21%, 95%, 49%, 44%. So if you actually see the image, you can see that it is pretty confident that a car is a car, but the person is not that confident, and the other person is also not that confident, and you can see the value bicycle is 44%. So that is how. So if you change the threshold, let's say I'm going to make it 10% in this case, and then run it. So now you would see the output with 10%. What are all the bounding boxes that you get when it is 10%. So the number of bounding box would increase. Like last time we had only 4, and this time we would probably increase it to more value. So you can see that there are 10 items above the bounding box, and you can see that that these 10 items are there, which is predictions. Yeah, so you can see that it is saying there is a potted plant person, multiple person. So it is not probably doing it properly because the threshold is very low. Maybe it is confused. A lot of other factors are there, but yes. So this is what is happening here. So the next thing is let's try to get a new image. So at this point you have the result. So you have what are the detected object is. Now you can build a shiny application, or you can do anything you want. You can build a plumber API where people can just give the image and then you predict it for them, and then you can send it out. So you can do anything you want. So let's quickly try with a different image for us to play with this. Let's open another image in this, I don't know what image, images.google. and man with a dog, maybe man with a dog, and it's quite common one. So yeah, let's take this image, or let's take multiple images, maybe multiple dogs. Let's save this. So by no means I'm saying that these are the images that I own, so it's probably like a disclaimer to say. Trying to save the image, which is to say that these are man with dog, yeah, .jpg. Okay, so now let's go back to our art studio and then see the image, or I can just go to my downloads, man with dog jpg, and then let's try it out. So it's working, and then we can finally see the prediction. So that's done. So the prediction would be in the current directory where we have mentioned this. So when we click this, okay, so it says there were 3 boxes above the threshold, and you can see person, dog, and it has done its job quite well without you have to manually train. There are a lot of things. So the things that you have to keep in mind, these underlying models could have bias in it. So it could have been trained on a data that had bias. So you could probably see some implicit bias. So you have to keep that in mind. And then the next thing is next thing I want you to keep in mind is this is not a customized deep learning solution. So I'm not saying that you can use this and participate in Kaggle competitions and then make winning, but this is definitely quite handy for somebody who doesn't have the computation power to train a new model, or who doesn't want to train the model and then want to just use the existing trained models and then do object detection in R. And the options for object detection in R is quite less, and thanks to BSNOSAC, the organization that has put together this package and made it open source for us to actually read this package and then use it the way we want. If you like this package, please go ahead and start the repository to share your appreciation for the developer. And if you like this video, please let me know in the comment section, and also give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Anything else, please let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely love to hear the feedback. And until next video, stay safe, see you.